G'day everyone, I hope you're all fantastic. On today's video, we're going to take a look at the GFI Synesthesia. This is a dual engine modulation pedal that covers everything from standard chorus, flanger, phaser sounds through pitch detune, sample and hold filters, and all sorts of weird and wonderful lo-fi and octave effects on here. The engines in here are totally independent and you can combine them in a variety of different ways, either routing algorithms in series, in parallel. There's some other interesting modes in here as well, which let you kind of do a pre-post thing with this. Way too much to get into in a single video, but I'm going to cover all my favorite sounds on here, starting with some big greasy 80s sounds. But if you don't like those sounds, watch later in the video and check out the timestamps, because not only will you hear a bunch of crickets firing up in excitement, but you'll hear a bunch of really unique, weird, and wonderful sounds. I think if you're somebody who's looking for a pedal that can kind of work as a do-it-all modulation pedal on a pedal board, this will easily do what you want it to do. Or if you're somebody looking for some really inspiring, kind of out there lo-fi and rhythmic sounds for your songwriting and production, this will also do it. So let's dive straight in. Let's get started with the most important modulation subcategory, stereo pitch detune. We're going to hear it on a massive amount of distortion, and then with some clean sounds. You've got controls for the amount of detune up and down over here. I think the maximum is only 10 cents. Kind of wish that went a little bit higher, but nonetheless, I've got, I think, 9 up, 9 down, and then the secondary function on the speed control here. You've got a tone control for warm, natural, or vibrant. Let's start out on vibrant. Hear it with some filth, and then a clean sound. That detune sounds great. I heartily approve. We've got some chorus options on here as well, and of course we can combine them. I'm going to start off with the dimension style chorus on here. This has controls for speed and depth, as well as an overall mix control. You do have some secondary controls here. This one, again, controls the tone, warm, natural, or vibrant. We'll start out on vibrant and hear all three. And then you've also got a pre-delay control on here as well. So a lot more control than the original dimension chorus would actually give you. Let's stick with this very plastic sounding 80s clean. Having some really subtle settings on that dimension and then smearing it out with the Detune is a lovely option as well. You've also got the option to run them in series or parallel on here, but series sounds fine to me for now. The standard chorus has a little bit more traditional wobble and sounds like a typical analog style pedal chorus. And the tri-chorus is extra greasy. It's a pretty decent sounding tri-chorus on there. You've got some extra controls, like the secondary function on speed is a low cut, and you've also got a high cut control on here. I'll actually take those out and then just tailor them to taste. All right, let's move on from the 80s inspired stuff. This time I'm running straight into the pedal, coming out in stereo into a pair of clean amps on my Axe-FX 3. Let's just go through some factory presets because I think these give you a pretty good indication of the range of tones available on here. Again, you can press both buttons to bank up, or you can hold down both buttons to toggle between preset mode and bank mode. In preset mode, you can toggle each modulation effect on and off independently. So this is the very first factory preset. It is called Far Horizons. It's a phaser running into the DC Trem. Really sweet funky phaser on there with a lush trem. Gone to another factory preset. This one's called The Funk. There's another one on here called Perfect Peak, and they're using the envelope filter. This is one of the effects that when I first powered this up and started playing around with it, I was really impressed with. So this is my best, worst funky impression. got various options for different shapes and sensitivities on there. This one I particularly like combining with other modulation effects. So let's use this Y parameter over here, and I don't know, let's throw it together with something really weird like a ring modulator. I'm going to bring the mix on the ring mod down a little bit. We can set the LFO speed on it either on or off. We can have an amount of shift on there. Let's go for a moderate amount of shift, and I'm just going to play some single note lines. Not too bad, but I really think these start to get interesting when you start playing around with stuff like the sample and hold options in here. There's a sample and hold filter, phaser, and flanger. There's some kind of arpeggiating random trems in here, which are really fun. So I'll let you hear this glitch 404 preset, then I'm going to swap out the slow volume for the Arp Trem. We'll revisit some weird lo-fi sounds in a little bit. I've gone over to this revolver preset, so it's running the drum and horn algorithms together to get you a rotary style sound on here. One really clever function about the way this pedal is laid out is if you've got something like this, you can assign an expression style control, or a ramp control as I'm going to call it, by holding down one of the foot switches. In this case, it's going to take us from a slow rotary speed to a fast rotary speed. Check it out. These two presets have to be two of my favorite factory presets. One's called Stochastica. It's the sample and hold flanger together with the Octaver. And then this one's called Heartbeat, which is two instances of that Arp tremolo in parallel. That is so much fun. Another great set of factory presets. One is called Melancholy. It's the vibrato and the envelope filter on here. There's such a great lo-fi combination on here. And then I'll go to another preset called Crying Vinyl, which is the vibrato and the tape flanger. We'll then hear some more lo-fi style effect. Another fun aspect of this pedal is that the octave algorithm lets you turn the octave off and just have reverb, and similarly this slow volume lets you turn the kind of slow gear effect off and just have delay. They sound really, really nice. If you haven't, go and check out my video with the GFI Specular Tempest. It's an amazing reverb and delay pedal. Another factory preset. I've put it in Stompbox mode because it's using the record and the phonos mode on here. We'll hear it without them and then one each and then together. There's just a great lo-fi kind of broken vinyl sound on here. That's such a unique effect on there. I really like just turning that on and off, playing some chords. Again, a great example of the fact this does all the standard stuff really well, but I think the magic is in those kind of experimental lo-fi modes. Let's hear this Thru-Zero style flanger. This is in front of a pair of dirty amps now. I'm going to pull up stumps right there. There are so many great standard modulation sounds in here and so many great truly weird ones. And that's just looking at the individual algorithms, the fact that you can combine them, route them in creative ways, and then control them via MIDI, expression, or the onboard ramping functions really makes this a pretty amazing and deep pedal. I will probably be doing a bunch of other videos on this, and I'll be including it on a future pedal board build on here, but I'm really impressed. There's so many good things I can say about this. The algorithms sound fantastic. Like I said earlier, the routing and control on there are really great options on there. And I mean, you could just use this as a standard kind of double modulation pedal if you wanted to, or you could use the presets mode on there and just have a bunch of really weird and wacky sounds. This is exactly the sort of thing that I want on a studio board, because while I can probably achieve some of these effects using things like my Axe effects, the fact that I can just dial up an algorithm, turn some knobs, and have a whole bunch of fun is the really important part on here. Furthermore, if I do want to save those sounds and then incorporate them into actual music later on, I've got all that extra control on there. So yeah, I think this is absolutely awesome if you're looking for a do-it-all modulation pedal that gives you all the stuff you expect, but also goes beyond that and actually kind of turns it into a creative machine. Definitely check this one out. I'm super stoked to have it here. I'm gonna be making a bunch more noise with it. So I'll leave you with a bunch of weird clips. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, ways to support me in the video description. Have a great day. Stay weird, stay greasy, and I'll see you next time.